How's it going, everybody? Rye right here today, and we are back with our Anaheim Ducks franchise mode. Today, guys, we are going to see if we can run it back and defend our Stanley Cup. But guys, before we get started, make sure to leave a like. Can we get this video to 15 likes? This series has been so much fun. You guys have supported it so much. And we're on the road to 4K. So guys, make sure to subscribe if you are new, or if you have somebody you think that would enjoy my videos, make sure to share them with them as well. But here we go, guys. Ready to get underway with a bit of a revitalized lineup. We couldn't bring everybody back, and we kind of went for more of a, hey, we won the cup, but we want to have long-term sustained success. So Pete Montgomery's on the second line. Ricard Santavori is on the third line as a freshly drafted player, pick 32. Could come in and contribute right away. We've still got Tracy, Landon Mccallum, Callan Lind finally gets his shot at the NHL. So we are going to spread the talent out with Krebs, Mctavish. Quinn Clark is another guy we drafted in the 7th round in 2026. So he is here. He is ready to go. And then defensively, still Darlene Drysdale, McDonald, Chernak, and then Zellweger with Riker Evans, who is going to play there for now. Scratched, I believe we still have Jorgen Henriksen. Maybe I give him another shot, but that awful passing is just, it just scares me away from it, from playing him. I mean, the fact that his giveaway to takeaway ratio is so bad, I'd rather not. But there we go, guys. Those are the lines. You guys can see the goaltenders are still Demko and Dostal, so really not too much different from last year, except for a few offensive players. We did bring in Tarasenko in the offseason on a 1-year deal, just to be that veteran presence for a lot of these younger guys. I know we have a lot of veterans, or I should say players in their prime, but we don't exactly have those older veterans. So he's there for the forwards, and Darlene is there, and Chernak for the younger defensemen. But we are ready to get it underway, and I do want to say thank you guys so much for all the comments on my last video with who do we do next. Next one will be a draft to glory, which I like a lot. I love my draft to glory with the Minnesota Wild. That was so much fun, and you guys did leave some very good comments. I will not reveal who I have chosen as my next one until we are done with this Anaheim Ducks franchise mode. But here we go. Lines are all set. Let's get a month into the season and just see how we do. I honestly don't see us being a bad team. Our coach is really, really good. We've got a lot of talent. And are we going to go undefeated in the preseason? We are. We are 7-0 in the preseason. So here we go. We win the first game. I just want to make sure that I have the scouts assigned to automatically scout for me. I think we're at that stage where I'm going to just let the scouts auto scout so we can get through the seasons quicker. And it doesn't take as long for me to get through them. Auto scouting is on both. So we do have the scouts automatically scouting the juniors. So I do appreciate that. But Pete Montgomery with a goal and an assist in the first game of the season. So 2 points for him in a 3-2 win. That's what you want to see from a young guy getting some more ice time. Now we play Vancouver, another win there. So far, starting the season really well until we lose to Buffalo, who we bested in the Stanley Cup Finals. And right now, guys, things are going really darn well. 7-2-0, but I'm not going to check the lines just yet. We're not even 10 games into the season, so I really don't want to talk about, who's scoring a lot of points and who's not. But we are looking pretty good. A very hot start banks a lot of points early, so we can hopefully continue this hot streak and stay towards the top of the Pacific Division. Although losing 3 games in a row there, 4 games in a row, but we finally snap it with a win against the Montreal Canadiens. There we go. There's a full week of wins. That's got to make your week feel good. That's a good weekend. Coming off 4 wins in a week. Love that. And then now we lose in overtime to the Vegas Golden Knights, but we are still 15-6-2 with Taro Santavori with 25 points. We have 32 points, which is 1 point behind the Leafs, 1 point behind the Wild, but we have a game in hand on the Wild. The Leafs have 3 games in hand on us. The Leafs are ridiculously good, but they choke in the postseason. Let's take a look at the points. And actually, I do want to take a look at the awards from last season. Who won what? Obviously, we're the Stanley Cup winner. Good Lord. There we go. Dallas won the President's Trophy, us versus Buffalo. We all knew that. But anyway, individual awards was Kaprizov. Norris went to Hedman. Nylander won the Lady Byng. Petit for the Canadians. So the Canadians might have some young talent. Look at that. Tomasino won the Conn Smythe as expected. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen from Buffalo won the Vezina, so he was the best goalie. Swayman won the William M. Jennings. Bill Masterton goes to Mayfield. DuPont won the Jack Adams as the coach of Seattle. Ryan O'Reilly won the Selke, and then Ted Lindsay goes to Kaprizov, and the Maurice Rocket Richard goes to Austin Matthews. Taro Santovori has been on a little bit of a drought for that one, but looks like he is picking it right back up here. It looks like he's still on pace for, close to 50 goals. He's probably going to pick it up at some point in the season. I mean, 23 games played. We're about not quite 4, but a little more than 3. So he's probably in the mid 40s as far as his pace is concerned. Tomasino's up there as well. Krebs absolutely killing it there. Does have quite a few power play points, but 21 points as a second line center is exactly what I would want to see from him. 4 goals, 17 assists, 21 and 23, 20 and 23 for Zegras, 16 and 23 with only 6 goals for Vladimir Tarasenko, but he does have 2 game-winning goals, 0 power play points. Is he not on the power play? Did I forget to put Tarasenko on the power play? Quentin Clark on the third line has actually got 9 goals. He is a very, very good goal scorer, as you guys can see. Very well-rounded offensively. Really does everything. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, but he is a sniper, so having him score those goals on the third line is very important for us. 87 offensive awareness, 84 passing. A pretty good defensive category with 83 defense, 88 stick checking. Average skater, not too physical, but I mean, hey, for a 7th rounder that we've got, to have him contributing like he is already is amazing. Mason McTavish on that third line as well with his 14 points is a -1, so that's disappointing. But Pete Montgomery on the second line with 8 goals, 11 points. So Pete Montgomery does love to score, doesn't love to pass, as we remember from his first season here in Anaheim. 19 goals, 23 points. So nobody is really struggling. Nobody's doing all that phenomenally that I wasn't expecting. I mean, Ricard Santovori, honestly, Pete Montgomery's probably, or not Pete Montgomery, it was Peyton Krebs was doing better, and Quinn Clark are doing better than I thought they might. But we can see Ricard Santovori with his Make It Snappy is doing very, very well. 9 points, 3 goals so far. So maybe he does like to pass. I think we can edit this the shoot pass sliders now, so we can actually check that out in just a minute. But Drysdale with 18 points, Dahlin with 12, McDonald with 8. He's the perfect middle pairing defenseman. That might be where he caps out, but he does so well in that role with Zellweger, Chernak, and Evans. So Riker Evans is honestly +5. I will take it. I'm not upset in the slightest by that. He's a good defenseman. Goaltenders, what a season from our 2 goaltenders so far. 919 and a 235 for Demko, and then a 959 and a 124 for Lucas Dostal. In the most recent update, I believe we can now edit the pass shoot bias for some of these players, so we can go ahead and edit Santovori. I will not change it, but I do want to see behavior. Here we go. It might be in here. Nope. Shot styles. It's not that. Is it under attributes? Abilities? No. Oh, wait. We can add abilities? That's cool. Oh, my goodness. I absolutely love the fact that I can add abilities to players. Like players that deserve it, right? Maybe in our draft to glory, we'll do that. If a player grows to be 90 overall or something like that. But so maybe I can't edit it in franchise mode, but perhaps you guys could tell me where it is. You can see his preferred jersey number is 50. There's his contract. He doesn't fight, and he's from Finland. We knew that. But presentation, behavior, I guess maybe it's under shot styles, unless, we aren't going to be able to see it, I don't think. So it looks like it's only in before you start a season here. Or maybe I just don't have the update downloaded. Who knows? But you guys let me know if you found that before, if you see the shot pass bias there. But honestly, I like the idea of giving players that deserve an ability. Like, I don't think, a guy like Drysdale deserves one, but I do think a guy like Zegras deserves one. I mean, how many years has he had a point per game, right? Like every season since 2022, 2023, and he's not a X factor or even have a zone ability. I don't know. You guys let me know about that. It's not going to be for this franchise mode, but our franchise modes going forward. And honestly, I don't see a reason for us to even talk trades yet. We can get to the beginning of February, see where the team's at, see if we need to shore something up. But honestly, the team is simulating very, very well. The players are playing well. There's really no weak points to this team where it's like, the fourth line is really struggling and they're being carried by a really good first line. Seems like all 4 lines are rolling, the defensive pairs are rolling, and the goaltenders are playing well. So it's making my job as general manager very easy to just kind of kick back and simulate up to the next month. And we can now officially offer contract extensions to expiring players. I'll wait until we get to February 1st to really get a bigger sample size of this season to see how these players are doing, who's expiring, and who might want what. Obviously, we aren't going to have all the money in the world to give to everybody, but we at least, wow, is that a full week of overtime points? 4 points in 4 games. Not exactly great, but we had to cool off at some point. We are now 32, 12, and 8 in second place in our division. Okay, 2 points behind the Wild for first place. Honestly, the Sharks, what is going on with the Sharks? Timeout. I got to take a look at the Sharks here, guys. How are they doing so well? Oh, they have Wesley Pope, 90. Oh, my word. Of course, this guy has to be in our division. And they also have William Eklund here at center, 89 overall. This is, I mean, they've got a ridiculous center court. Josh Norris is their 4th line center. They got Vesalainen down here as well, but Danny Zhilkin, William Eklund, and Wesley Pope is basically the next McDavid. Defensively, they got Ferraro and Connor Timmins. I mean, their defensive core is not good. I guess when you have Wesley Pope putting in 35 goals and 28 assists, that's 63 points in 52 games. You're probably going to be okay. And they got Bednar, who's absolutely having the season of his life. 20 wins, 30 games played, 922, 228. Good Lord, he's listed as a backup goalie, and he's just dominating the NHL. So, note to self, don't spend money on a goalie. They've got so many good players scratched too. Is Wesley Pope expiring soon though? But I do want to see, where does he rank in the entire NHL as far as overall? Is he the best player in the league? It's probably McDavid, but taking a look, yeah. So it's McDavid, McKinnon, Matthews, Draisaitl, Pope. So Wesley Pope is the 3rd best player. And honestly, when you draft first 4 years ago, you kind of hope you're tied for the best team in your conference when you get a guy like Pope. And then they have Clint Ryan here in Montreal. So they are looking up there in Montreal and Quebec. But Connor McDavid's still the best player in the league. 49 games played, though, 54 points. So maybe not as good as Wesley Pope. I actually kind of want to see how is Wesley Pope, as I am afraid of the Sharks now. Same amount of games played, 1 more point than us, 1 point behind the Wild. And nobody else is even close. The Hurricanes have 60 points in their division, and they're leading it. The Leafs have cooled off, only have 70 points, although they have played quite a few fewer games, I should say, than we have. But the best 3 teams in the NHL are all in the Western Conference, and that worries me. I mean, I really, it's going to make it much tougher to defend our title when Minnesota is in our conference, San Jose is in our division, and we are here too. I'm sure that these games between San Jose and Anaheim are gargantuan, just slugfest. You know, there's 2 of the best teams in the league going back and forth. And where do the players rank in the entire league here? You see, Nikita Kucherov has 74 points in 49 games. Are you kidding me? What is that number? That is 1.5 points per game. He gets 3 points every 2 games. That's insane. That's insane. Wesley Pope here with 63 and 52. I thought that was crazy. Matthews with 64 and 49 was crazy. 74 and 49. Nikita Kucherov listed as a 2nd line forward on, oh my God, $10 million contract. That's a lot. And Santovori is up there amongst the leaders in goal scoring, but I don't know if he's going to get there. I just don't know if he's going to get to that, to get the Maurice Rocket Richard. One thing I do want to see is, where are the Lightning? The Lightning are in a wild card position. Maybe I want to make a call about a certain Russian-born winger. He's not on the block, but he is very low value. It would take Jaden Williams, Peyton Krebs, and a 5th. Honestly, that's a really fair trade. A young, promising goaltender of the future. Our 2nd line center here, who's still 28, whereas Nikita Kucherov is 35. He's not going to last much longer on a very expensive contract, and a little 5th just to throw it in there. I'm not going to do it, but I just wanted to see what it would take to potentially get it. That's insane. I cannot believe he is that good. Let's take a look at the AHL real quick, where Sapovaliv, I keep saying that name wrong every time. Sapovaliv is doing well as a medium top 9 forward. He could be an NHL player next year. Very good playmaker. Could be he's not great defensively. Daryl Paul here is a low top 6 at 24. Sniper, who's doing well. And then Tristan Sloan, the X Factor, who we drafted in the first round 2 seasons ago. So last draft was the 2028 draft. The draft before it was the 2027 draft. We took him 26th overall. And guys, we seem to be hitting on our late first round picks, which is essential if we're going to turn this team into a dynasty. But Tristan Sloan here, 77 overall, doing very, very well with 23 goals, 15 assists, 38 points in 49 games. Who is this with 20? Wilson Estrada, 27 and 4. Oh my God. Talk about a bona fide sniper. Yeah, with 94 defensive awareness, 93 puck control, 99 wrist shot accuracy, and he's fast as lightning. 96 speed. This guy is really good. Medium top 9, could be a third line goal scorer for us, guys. We got plenty of players ready to come up soon. Hanu Järvinen, I mean, maybe. Lucas Cormier could come up eventually. He's an offensive defenseman who's doing honestly amazingly. I want to see him come to the NHL next year, although he's on an expiring deal. Maybe I will bring him up. But I just wanted to go ahead and take a look at the AHL guys, because we are going to go take a look at who's expiring and who do we have to worry about. Chernak, Tarasenko, Peyton Krebs, and I think Peyton Krebs is playing his way into a contract extension. I will give him 4 years at $5.5 million. I honestly think I'll do that. He's a middle six winger. We have $21 million in cap space, so I'm going to offer him that contract. And then it's just Tracy Fortier, Jorgen Henriksen, who has potential, but I'm never going to see it realized because I'm not going to play him. Zellweger is probably good for another contract extension. They fixed the UFA RFA thing, so that's nice to see. He would still be an RFA afterwards. But Lucas Cormier does want a contract extension. I will offer him a 3-year deal at $800,000, and hopefully he accepts that because he's got a lot to offer. Sepov, I'll see if I can get him for 3 more years on the 2-way deal before these guys really make their jump. Zachary Watt is an offensive defenseman who's not really putting up the points I would hope he would. He's more of a defensive offensive defenseman, which makes absolutely no sense. But Estrada here is not interested in a contract extension yet, so we will wait on that. But Albaline, Kakko, Sarainen, these low elites will eventually, hopefully, be something for us. But Lucas Dostal does want a contract extension, but it's probably going to be time for Jaden Williams to start making his way to the NHL next year. If we take a look at all of our goaltenders on the main roster, Demko, Dostal. Demko's still going to be chilling up here. But then it's, Williams, Jensen, Christie. Like, these guys are all going to be ready pretty soon to start making their way to the NHL. I probably want to get rid of Robert Lilia, see if anybody would want to take him, because we want to play one of my other 2 medium elite goaltenders for at least as much of the season as we can get. So we'll go to rookie goalies. Lilia, does anybody want him? No trades found. What if I threw in a 7th? No trades found. Okay, I can make my own trade at the trade deadline, which will be coming up here pretty darn soon. We're at February 1st. The trade deadline's in about another month. Really not sure what I would want to do. Maybe I might honestly stand pat here at the deadline just to see, hey, I'm not going to change the chemistry we got. Peyton Krebs is back for 4 years at $5.5 million, I believe it was. Sepov is back on his cheap deal. Cormier is back on his cheap deal. And those guys are on 2-way contracts, which is going to help us continue to make, just pay the stars on this team. Those guys that turn into superstars, we're going to be able to keep paying them. But a little bit of a lag here in February as we only win 3 games in the month of February, but we bounce back with a 3-game winning streak and have fallen off the pace of the Sharks significantly. Now, we are still the second best team in the entire NHL, but we are 7 points off the Sharks, who are 43, 14, and 5. And do we need to get firepower to potentially go toe-to-toe with the Sharks? I mean, they have such a good team, so many deep players. Or are we okay? Are we satisfied with, Pete Montgomery getting his ice time here? 26 points in 64 games from a second liner. Not great. I mean, nobody on the team's really getting too many points, although we do have a defensive strategy. 11 goals again for Matt McDonald. The dude just scores goals for fun as a second pairing defenseman. And I can't explain it, guys, but I'm sure somebody's got some fan theory out there. But taking a look at the special teams. We don't have Vladimir Tarasenko on the power play, which is fine by me. Because like I said, this season was about, we're still a dominant team, but we want this to be sustained success. So I don't think I'm going to make any crazy trades unless, there's a pure, I'm going to be a conservative buyer. Unless there's a pure bona fide stud out there for nothing. Bringing back Dylan Strome, no thanks. Yusuf Valimaki. Like, I'm looking more so at the guys here that have cheap value for what they are. Like a 1-year Oli Uolivi. I'm going to give you Demko. Albalin, a second in Koivu. That's a fine deal to me. Zachary Watt, a third in Koivu. Nicholson, a third in Koivu. Maher, I probably don't want to give up Maher, but if I mean, honestly, I would do the second next year. Actually, that's this year's second. Albalin in Koivu, but I think I'm going to not do that deal. Tyler Toffoli and Delandrilla go to the Sabres in exchange for Dupre, fourth, and Gore. So Owen Tippett as another good sniper. Samsonov, Tarasenko. We are not trading away Tarasenko? Although there's quite a bit of interesting Tukio. I just think, when we get to the playoffs, Tarasenko is going to make his presence felt. We got Josh Morrissey, Sam Reinhart. I mean, Sam Reinhart, but 4 years there. Christian Dvorak for 1 year as a two-way forward. Andre Kaja. I don't know. Connor Brown, 35. Dostal. I don't know why they keep offering our guys out. But no, thank you. Jost. Bernard Docker here is a 83 defenseman. I don't think we need defensemen. Dante Fabro from the Winnipeg Jets. Again, like I said, I don't think we need defensemen. If anything, I would like to get a forward, but I don't really want to get somebody just for the sake of getting somebody. Like Owen Tippett here. It would take McDonald, Linden a third, McCallum, Albalin, and I mean, honestly, the McCallum, Albalin in a third is not a bad idea. McCallum Lynn's a bit younger than McCallum, but is expiring in a second. Okay, so we'll look at the McCallum deal. McCallum is making a little bit of money, not too much. Owen Tippett here is 85 overall with a pretty poor shot, all things considered, and that's probably reflected in his shooting percentage of pretty low for a guy who's listed as a sniper. Fits only our penalty kill, and I'm just gonna say no thank you there. Dylan Strome, obviously, if we wanted to get another second line player, but it's going to cost me too much, and it's not something I'd like to even think about. Ricard Santavori is definitely not leaving this team. But again, like Logan Brown, I mean, Dvorak is a good two-way forward. He's making $7 million, but we have the space for it. Maher Koivu in a seventh. Ricard Santavori, Christie. I mean, Christie, honestly, a Christie in a sixth and a seventh is not bad because we have Jaden Williams and another goaltender in the system. Would Christian Dvorak fit anywhere for us? He's a third line scorer with, honestly, this guy's really good. His shooting, 11.6%. He puts in 20 goals a season, 34 points. Does contribute a bit on the power play, only playing third line ice time. Giveaway to takeaway ratio is good. He hits a lot, doesn't block a ton of shots, but he fits the first forward line, which probably not for us, but look at it. That's so well-rounded. It's a great two-way forward. I mean, and Christie is 70 at 22. Randy Christie is one of our two rookie goaltenders. Because there's also Johan Jensen, because I believe he's Swedish. Johan Jensen here, 74 at 22. I would much rather be giving up Christie anyway. A sixth and a seventh for Dvorak. Dvorak's a center. What kind of face-offs are we looking at? 84. Could potentially bump Peyton Krebs to the wing, move Pete Montgomery down, because I think we are going to need more out of that second line come playoff time. And I think I'm going to do this. I think I want to go after Christian Dvorak, and we have multiple elite goalies. We've got the cap space to take them on. And there we go. The Montreal Canadiens have traded Christian Dvorak to your Anaheim Ducks in exchange for Randy Christie, a sixth and a seventh, which I am totally fine with. Now let's see here. What do we probably need to give up somebody, and I think that somebody might be Landon Mccallum. Landon Mccallum here puts in 21 points, is a plus 10. We do need to get rid of a forward. So taking a look here at our fourth line, right? Tracy is a plus 6, 16 penalty minutes and 9 minutes a night. Quinn Clark is staying. Gabriel Fortier, I mean, he hasn't even played. Does anybody want to give me anything for him? Boyer, low bottom 6, low top 9. Petrangelo, Tavares. I don't think that's the same Tavares, but I would almost rather have the fifth to take a shot on some of these guys. Bobrovsky's the medium starter, a fifth and a seventh. I'd rather trade him out of our conference. The San Jose Sharks, no thank you. I do not want him coming back to bite me in the butt. Let's see here. The Boyer and a 6. Boynton, I mean, honestly, low top 9. Leg, how old is Leg? Because the Sabres want him. Maybe I can make a deal for like a 4th round pick instead. But Leg is 20 at 64. Honestly, he's not terrible, but I think I'm going to talk to Buffalo and say, hey, would you give me a 4th for him? They'd have too many skaters in the org, so skaters matching the block. and doing this. And I kind of like, I mean, I guess I'll take Archibald leg. I'll take leg in a fourth. Would that go through? Rejected. Okay. Let's see. We know there's other deals on the table for a guy like Fortier. He's not exactly playing right now, so he's not the primary concern. But a guy like Callan Lind, but he's still 24. He's still got room to grow. 32 penalty minutes, 15 points. That's a lot of penalty minutes for him. Landon Mccallum, though, with his multiple years left, he can probably fetch us something pretty decent, too. A third in Wang, Clem, Poulin in a fourth, Lowry, Vakanainen, and Carrier. Wild, Pedersen, yeah, a third in Boyer. I mean, a third is honestly pretty good. A third and a seventh, a third in O'Donnell, a third and a fourth from the Red Wings. I think I might take the Red Wings deal, guys. Nobody else really looks quite as good. 2 fourths. I don't want to trade them to the Kings. No, that's not Elias Pettersson. I was about to say Elias Pettersson, but it's definitely not. Oh my goodness. Not trading him to the Sharks. I don't want Tucker Tynan. I think I like the 3rd round pick. I'd rather actually not load Buffalo up anymore. Vegas, Washington. Who else was offering me a 3rd round pick? The Arizona Coyotes, but they could be a threat to us. And I'm not trading Landon McCallum. It's not going to come bite me in the butt. A third next year. The Chicago Blackhawks, the Dallas Stars, the Chicago Blackhawks, the Detroit Red. You know, I'm going to take the Detroit Red Wings deal. We're going to accept this deal. There we go. Landon McCallum is off the books. And now Fortier. Just get whatever we can out of Fortier. Really, I think there's a 5th and a 7th from the Sharks. But again, I don't want to trade him to the Sharks nor the Wild. I know I'm limiting myself on trade partners here, but I just would rather not see him come back to bite us in the butt. All the teams that want him, though, are good teams. Although Nashville's not a terrible team. A 6th round pick, though. The Wild, a 5th and a 7th. I'll take that from the Wild. Screw it. I know the Wild are top, but I don't think he's going to put them over the edge. They're top of their Central Division, I believe. And I think those are the trades I'm going to make. Rookie goalies. Yeah, Lilia is somebody that we do need to move on from as well. No trades found. So I will go ahead and make one myself. Does anybody in the world want Lilia? Because, I just want to get some playing time for my young medium elite goaltender. Anybody in the world want Lilia? The answer is no. So we're just going to randomly find a team and stop. Okay, maybe we'll go to the Devils. Hey, New Jersey, do you have a free 5th round pick you want to give me? Great, rejected. That's fine. How about a 6th? How's that? Nope. And how about a 7th? You guys give me a 7th? Wow. I don't know. What about next year's 6th? Is that a deal? The value of what you have asking has been hugely inflated by your scout, and it doesn't. Value of what you're asking us has been hugely inflated by your scout, and it doesn't meet our block. What does that even mean? The value. Anyway, I'm gonna see if can you give me next year's 7th? I literally can't get rid of this guy. All right, well, Lilia's gonna be here for the foreseeable future. I'll just scratch him myself. Goodbye, trade deadline. It was nice knowing ya. Really no other big deals to be made from us. In the AHL, though, I will go ahead and scratch Lilia. Just time. Lilia, he's a 75, though, too. Jensen's a 74 and probably deserves to be playing. Starting lines, yeah, it looks good. Although, is there a way to save lines? Reset to defaults? I don't know what that means, but Maher here is medium top 6. Sepov Olvestad, yeah, I'm fine with that. Wilson Estrada has been playing. Really, he's only been playing that much time. Sokolov's medium. Eddie, yeah, guys, look at all the players we have down here. Nurmi, gotta move him up. And Olvestad is 23. Sepov yeah, I think Paul Maher, and then Cleary is medium top 9. I kind of want to play Estrada up here. Although it doesn't seem like that would work very well because we have sniper, playmaker, which is a terrible. It's Sloan that doesn't fit up there at all. I guess nobody likes our coach's first line, so that's fine. We'll just do this, whatever. In the NHL, we now have Christian Dvorak. Honestly, on the 3rd line is not a terrible idea, but I'm going to go back to the way things have been. Peyton Krebs here, and then Dvorak for Montgomery. Dvorak can play center better than Peyton Krebs can. And there we go. Montgomery, Dvorak, Tarasenko. I know Krebs has been really, really good this year. I mean, 43 points in 64 games is good. But he's going to help out Mctavish and Ricard Santavori. Yeah, we get a +2 with Montgomery, Dvorak, and Tarasenko. So I think Dvorak stepping into second line center is going to be very, very good for us with Clark, Lind, and Tracy. I don't really want to move Ricard Santavori down because he does have that X factor there. So defensively, everything stays the same. Special teams, we want the power play. Tomasino, McTavish, Zegras, McDonald, Santavori. I'm fine with that. Pete Montgomery, Peyton Krebs, Christian Dvorak, Jamie Drysdale, Rasmus Dahlin. Don't need Rasmus Dahlin on the power play there. I think I would like to give right winger. We'll put Tarasenko on there. Why not? He's really good. So we'll leave that as that. I think Pete Montgomery up for anybody here, basically. We'll move McTavish down. No, McTavish is actually really good on that first power play. Gets us a +3. We'll move Tomasino down. The guy's really good, but and I like Dvorak here. He'll play center because he's got that good face-offs. Tomasino really bolsters the second power play. And then Pete Montgomery gets us a +3 here with his big tipper. So that's just what we'll do there on the power play. Oh, I didn't look at the penalty kill. Let's take a look at our penalty kill. Special teams, penalty kill. Dvorak, Lind, McDonald, Chernak, McTavish, Krebs, Drysdale, Dahlin. So the only guy that doesn't fit down there is Dahlin. And Dahlin comes. Actually, I'll leave Dahlin in there. It's even. So we got Lind and Dvorak. We get a +1/+1, so we'll do that. But I'll play Krebs and Dvorak, and then Lind can play down here. He's a good two-way forward. Got a really good defensive category. Awareness is not great, but he's amazing at playing defense. He'll grow. But right now, we're getting evens, which is fine by me. We're way ahead of anybody else in our division. Really, it's can we pick up a 7-point gap with 2 fewer games in hand on the San Jose Sharks? How have we done against the Sharks in head-to-head play this year? I was about to say head-to-head combat. I might as well call it that because I have a feeling we might face them in the playoffs at some point. But a loss and a win, so we're 1-1. No more Sharks in this month, and no Sharks in this month. So that does mean we should have 2 opportunities against the Sharks in the coming months. Yep, there it is. A back-to-back essentially against the Sharks here at the end of the season. So why don't we just go up straight to the games against the Sharks, and hopefully a 4-1 loss is not spelling a trend for us. But there we go, 3 straight wins. I'll take that kind of trend. 4 straight wins. Make it 5. Make it 6, 7, 8. And here we go on an 8-game winning streak. Tied overall points-wise against the Sharks. Both teams at 100 points with 9 games to go. Look at that. Nobody else is even at close to 100. Taro Santavori hits 40. Can he get 10 goals in his last 9 games? We'll see. He's going to have to be over a goal per game if he can hit 50 again. But really all that matters is we are on the doorstep of San Jose. Taking a look at the regulation and overtime wins. It's so damn close. We do not score as many goals for per game as they do. They've got Wesley, right? That's his name. It's Will Pope. Wesley Pope. There you go. I finally got there. Pope. Oh, goodness. They have God on their side. Not great. But we have Taro Santavori and his brother, Ricard Santavori. The Santavori brothers will propel us through. In San Jose, can we win a big game? We do win, and we are now ahead of the Sharks in the standings as neither team has played since that date, which is a little bit concerning because the Sharks still have 2 games in hand and we're only 2 points ahead of them. But guys, 102 points it's not being touched as long as neither team absolutely nosedives, right? As long as we continue to see out the season as is. Will our winning streak continue again against the Sharks? The game on home ice? All right, we split the season series 2-2 with the Sharks. Okay, so the Sharks are officially rivals to us at this point. I mean, it can't be said anything less. We both have 104 points. Another win. There we go. Oh my goodness. Both teams neck and neck down the stretch. And wow, look at the Buffalo Sabres. Last year's Eastern Conference representative is also doing very well, but we do have a game in hand on them. So they have 109 points. We have 108. Last 3 games of the season will go down to the last 2 against Minnesota. We win. That's big. And the Sharks are officially 2 points ahead of us. Taro Santovori has scored, I think, 4 goals and 7, so he's done pretty darn well. I don't want to look at the stats just yet. Things look well, though. I wanted to see the tiebreakers. We do hit 50 wins again this season. We aren't going to have the tiebreaker, and there's no way for us to get the tiebreaker, so we need to outright get 3 points out of our next 4, while the Sharks get... the Sharks can't get 1 point. The Sharks have to lose their last 2 games. We have to get 3 out of 4 here. Don't know if it's going to happen, but holy smokes, goals for per game. Does anybody even sniff 3.5, let alone 3.6? And say, oh my God, they're so good. They're right neck and neck with us in goals against, and they just put home those extra goals. Their power play is firing on all cylinders. Ours is not, but our penalty kill is phenomenal. We'll take a look at that stuff at the end of the season officially. But we've got a couple games here to go. At the Dallas Stars, we win. The Sharks haven't played before our last game, so who knows what's going to happen. But a point here means the Sharks have all the work to do. We can only sit back and relax after this one. Can we win against the Blues? We do, and we officially finish on 114 points, and the San Jose Sharks have lost their game. As long as San Jose does not win their game, we are President's Trophy winners, Western Conference winners, and Pacific Division winners. The Maple Leafs finished at look the same thing basically in the Atlantic, except they have 3 teams over 100. The Oilers and Flames aren't, bad, but damn, there's so many tight races. 100. How many teams are going to have over 100 points? I guess when the Kraken and the Kings have under 70, it's going to happen, and the Capitals being under 70 as well. The departure of Alex Ovechkin has hit them hard, but one more day to determine the President's Trophy winners. Who will it be? Will it be us, or will it be San Jose? And it is going to be the San Jose Sharks as they win the final game of the regular season 4-3 over the third-placed Edmonton Oilers, who will be our opponents. Oh my God, guys, I honestly loaded up as much as I could. 114 points in the regular season is absurd, and for 2 teams to tie on that is crazy. Let's take a look at the league here. You can see one more regulation and overtime win, and maybe we turn one of those shootout losses into a win, and we're there, right? We win the shootout instead of losing in the shootout, and there you go. There you have it. But as far as the goals for and goals against per game, it's absurd. It's ridiculous. And the Buffalo Sabres are all offense all the time. Good Lord. Oh, I wanted to go the entire league. Here we go. The San Jose Sharks lead the league, tied with the Ducks. Oh, God, we were so close, losing on tiebreakers. That sucks. We only hit 256 goals for per game, which is pretty light compared to some of the other teams around us. What do we have here? Point percentage. We'll take a look. We had 3.12. So where does 3.12 stack up? About middle of the way in the league. There we are. Behind the Blue Jackets, behind the Blues, behind the Canucks, teams that did not make the playoffs. So we do have a defensive style coach, right? We're not all out offense all the time. And you know what they say? Defense wins championships. Buffalo is all out offense all the time. The Leafs with 2.5 and 3.7 are a really dangerous team. The Sharks with about 3.6 and 2.57 are dangerous. But taking a look at goals against per game, nobody can compete with us. Thatcher Demko leads the way for the team that allowed the fewest goals. So we are going to win the William M. Jennings Trophy. We have officially created a defensive juggernaut. Less than 2.5 goals against per game, meaning if you get 3 goals, you are one of the rare ones. Power play percentage, 15% is not good at all. Buffalo is, what is going on? I got to take a look at Buffalo's lines. They are all offense all the time. And our penalty kill finished 5th in the NHL. So we will take it. Finished the season very hot at 8-2-0. Let's take a look at the season stats. Taro Santovori does not finish point per game, but does get 45 goals. And, this kind of reminds me of when Ovechkin had to change his approach to win a cup, right? He had to play a bit more defensively, more physically, more of a leader, less I'm just going to go score goals. And it kind of worked. He led by example, and maybe Santovori's got to do something himself. Obviously 78 points in 82 games is elite, 45 goals as well, but it's not what we're used to seeing out of a guy like Taro Santovori. This might be the lowest goal scoring season he's had in his career, and as a matter of fact, it is The last 2 seasons have been his lowest goal tallies in his career, except for the one in 25-26. But back-to-back career lows as far as goals for, and I say career lows like he's declining. It's 45 goals for in a season. It's ridiculous, right? But it's translating more to team success. Less individual success, more team success. Speaking of team success, here's Trevor Zegras there and Tomasino. So the first line still is doing their job. Vladimir Tarasenko, who we signed, pots 30 and gets 56 points and does exactly what we asked him to do. He's not playing a ton of ice time, right? 14 minutes a night, still putting in 30 goals is great. Peyton Krebs recently demoted to the third line. Still had a fantastic season with 54 points. Christian Dvorak here in Anaheim was 18 points in 18 games and a plus 12. So there you go. There you have it. The trade deadline acquisition from Montreal, who is a very, very bad team, I believe. They do have, actually, I don't know if they're that bad. I'm talking like they're bottom of the league, but I don't think they're actually that bad. Anyway, he's a very good acquisition at the deadline for us. Mason McTavish here, -9. Really only looking like the only minus on the team. 41 points, though. Pete Montgomery had another good season, following up his rookie season of 19, getting over the hump, getting to 22, and also finally figuring out he's got to use his teammates. We love it. We love to see it. 38 points in his second season. Tracy with 34 and a plus 10. Quinn Clark in his rookie season is going to give us 15 goals, almost 30 points, and a plus 5, shooting only 8.5%. You would expect that to go up a little bit next season with his shooting category being so good. Ricard Santavori, the other minus on the team, along with McTavish, 78 points. Still's got a great shot. 9 goals, 13 assists, 22 points. Did get power play time too. Might be time to take him off at said power play. But Callan Lind here, who we held on to, 19 points, 9 goals, plus 8. Taking a look at the defenseman, 47 and a plus 22 for Drysdale, 38 and a plus 24 for McDonald. So our offensive defensemen doing the job that they're supposed to, and Rasmus Dahlin also having a successful season. The defensemen are playing well. I mean, it has finally occurred to me that maybe defensive head coaches, while you aren't going to get the point totals and the ridiculous stats, you're going to have success. And I might start to look at more defensive coaches going forward. Once your team is built up to a cup contender and you're not having success forward-wise, take a look at the defensive head coaches. Zellweger, Riker Evans, and Eric Chernak. Eric Chernak is I'm probably not going to bring him back at 31, 86 overall. It's probably going to ask for too much for the contribution he gives. Riker Evans, Zellweger, McDonald can probably carry his line next season, so this is probably Chernak's last season as an Anaheim Duck. And finally, in goal, we have 2 phenomenal performances from our goaltenders. 915 and a 251 for Demko with 3 shutouts. Dostal played in 22 games, a 930 and a 210. Good Lord. There was actually an improvement when we went to the backup. So teams that got our backup did not have a very easy time. Taking a look at the entire league, though, we're not going to look at rookies as Grant Curry is there, but there's Jack Eichel with 106 points, 93 overall, 58 goals. Still not going to win the Maurice Rocket Richard as Wesley Pope for our rival San Jose Sharks with 99 points, but 59 goals. And guys, he reminds me of somebody very near and dear to us. He reminds me of Taro Santavori he's just putting up mad amount of goals in his young seasons, although not quite as good of a goal scorer as Santavori was, or it has been, but this is a breaking out season. You give him 7 years at 12.1. You hope you get a season like this, and they did. Kucherov cooled off significantly. He had 74 and 49. He only got 25 more points in the last 30 games. So a little bit, still almost point per game, but it's nowhere as ridiculous as it was. Leading in the goals is Wesley Pope and Jack Eichel. Nobody else got over 40. Santavori still a top 5 goal scorer in the league, tied with Kaprizov of the Nashville Predators for 4th. Matthews with 48 in 3rd. And as I mentioned, Eichel and Pope. Taking a look at the defenders putting up points is Adam Fox in Chicago, Eric Brandstrom in Ottawa, and Quinn Hughes in Vancouver, all getting 70 points or more. So honestly, I'm fine with it. I'm content. Cal McCarr here in Colorado still, not doing as well as you might expect him to do with 6 years left. Yikes, he's going to be stuck there for a while. Hopefully Colorado can start to, do some stuff for him. And in goal, some of the best goaltenders in the league for the most wins is Yuri Kapitanov. Capo Kakinen, Jeremy Swayman, Jordan Binnington, Thatcher Demko. Oh my word, what a season Yuri Kapitanov had. 97 glove high, 98 glove low. I don't want to scout him. 90 speed, 90 agility. This guy's really good. He was drafted by the Carolina Hurricanes in the 7th round. I don't know how he made it to Toronto. Actually, he was in the AHL for Chicago, for the Chicago Wolves, played for Seattle, then signed with Toronto the next season. 920 in a 227 goal against average. And guys, if there was any question if Demko could win the Vezina, it's not going to happen. Unfortunately, Yuri Kapitanov is going to win that. I mean, you'd be silly not to pick him. Bednar, I can understand why you wouldn't pick him, but it's between Kapitanov and Demko in my book. Swayman is close, right? He played about 9 more games than Demko. Similar stats. But the wins are in Demko's favor there as well. So just an amazing season for Yuri Kapitanov as he's going to win the Vezina. Now we got Grant Curry leading the way for all rookies and Bebko as well. 37 and 34 goals, 61 to 55 in points. Probably going to be Grant Curry here, who was drafted in 2nd overall this past season. Bebko, drafted 14th overall in 2025, finally makes his way to the NHL at the age of 21, whereas Grant Curry at the age of 18 did fantastic. Evan Crabb here was taken 3rd overall this past season. Rene Plus was taken in the 1st round a few years ago. Gustavs Goldobin. I mean, some of these guys just look really, really good for being so young and not necessarily being medium elite, although finding a medium elite here in the 14th overall is a steal. Any rookie goaltenders? Not this year, but there we have it, guys. That is the season recap, and that is season number 8, I believe. Yes, this is season number 8, first season as champions. And we will be taking on the Edmonton Oilers in the 1st round of the playoffs. And the playoffs will be an entire video. Again, you guys are loving that, and I appreciate your feedback on that. Changed my strategy thanks to you guys. So there you have it. It is officially Edmonton, but I will catch you guys in the next one where we'll preview the Edmonton Oilers and every team as we go through the playoffs. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.
This a free for all, but what we fall. This a free for all, but what we fall.